irritated man here. Okay, so Jeremy Spry.
What?
No, ah, Jeremy Spry. I'll just leave that in. Screw it, I don't care. All right. Once upon a time, I actually engaged this person in a lengthy conversation. I did several videos about him, and he's still around. Never left, I guess. I guess I just started ignoring him. And David John Wellman responded to him. And so here's this. And I'm gonna look. I'm gonna I'm gonna throw some words towards Jeremy Spry. And these insults or words are not meant to be anything other than my irritation at the man. Hi, Nano, the flying man martyr. Okay, hi. Um, because the argument's separate from the person, but he has irritated me, and so I'm gonna say nitwit or whatever, and just know that it's because I've spent so much time and energy trying to get through to him why this stuff doesn't work and why he should abandon it, etc., etc. So I'm irritated. So please, in advance, forgive me for my irritation, and also note that just because I might throw out that he's a nitwit doesn't mean that he doesn't have a valid and sound argument. He doesn't have a valid and sound argument, but that's separate from me calling him any name. Okay, attack the person, not the argument. I'm going to go ahead and do the opposite, sort of, but not as much. Anyways, I'm done. Anyways, okay, so here's his lackluster response to David John Wellman's video, which is extremely long. It's a long video. David John Wellman's video is long. Spry's video, 2 minutes 12 seconds. It's nothing. It's a nothing burger. It's absolutely nothing in there. It's like, I think he watched maybe a few minutes of David's videos. I guess I'll respond to him. Thanks for boosting me. You gave me attention. Yay, people will see my message because of you. But I didn't pay attention to anything you said because I'm going to keep making the same stupid mistake over and over again. Deconverted Man told me not to do it 3 years ago, but here I am, still doing it. Have I learned informal logic? No, he has not. Not even a little. He hasn't. And I know that beyond a shadow of a doubt. He hasn't. Nor has he learned science. Not the methodology, not about biological evolution. Hasn't learned a damn thing. So yeah, I'm a little bit irritated because of how much time and energy I've spent on this nitwit. I guess I'll play some of the video while I
All right, so
talk.
this is a response video to David John Wellman. I think I said that right. So he made a video responding and trying to debunk my video on refuting atheism. First off, thank you. It has like 8.1 thousand views, which means, that many people got to see and hear what I was trying to convey. So I do appreciate that. First off, it sounds like you don't think that mRNA is code. Of course, I think that's illogical. I made this video.
Dude, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. You wouldn't know what illogical is if illogical was a sentient being, came up and smacked you across the face, Will Smith style, and said, "Get logic out of your fucking mouth." That's how little you don't know logic. You don't get to say the word logic from now on. Every time you say the word logic, God dies again. Not that God is dead because God didn't exist, but every time you say the word logic, more gods cease to exist. That's how little you know of logic. Man, it pisses me. Okay. All right. Calm down, Deconverted Man. Take some breaths. Come on, man. No, you don't understand. You'll understand after my comment. Then you'll understand. Oh, all right. Okay, it doesn't matter how many videos you make. Doesn't matter, Jeremy. Does not matter how many videos you have. Whether or not you think it makes sense, which is really what you're saying, you're just using the word logic instead of making sense to you. And I can demonstrably demonstrate that, and I will. It's just, oh, golly. Oh, God. So, wait, let me go back. Okay. All right.
To convey, so I do appreciate that. First off, it sounds like you don't think that mRNA is code. Of course, I think that.
Okay, so you don't think that mRNA is code. Okay, did David John Willman say that in his video? You know what would be great here? I don't know, if you played some of David John Willman's video for us and showed us where the hell he said that. I don't know, just an idea. Do an actual freaking response video, not this laziness. How about a timestamp when he said that? Nope, nothing's in the description. It's absolutely void. Nothing is there. Oh yeah, I'm boiling here. I'm boiling, and the spirit's got a hold of me. Oh, preach it, brother. Yeah, amen. Deconverted me. Okay, sorry. I don't know what's the. Okay, so, right. So just, I don't even know if Wellman said that, but if he did, maybe he explained what he meant by it's not a code, and you don't understand that because I don't think you do. I know the word code has been used, and 3 years ago, I told you, look, the words that are used sometimes by scientists may look like the words that we use, but they don't mean the same thing. They're simplifying it. They're dumbing it down for us peons, okay? When they say code, they don't mean the same sort of code as we're used to, okay? I know, it's really complicated, but let's dumb it down, okay? All right? And and if he doesn't think it is, whether or not you agree is irrelevant. What do scientists say about it? Now you may be like, "Oh, look, here they say it's a code. Here they say it's a code. Here, yeah." You don't know what it means, though, do you? You don't have a damn clue what they mean by code. You don't, because you keep doing the ID stuff over and over and over again ad nauseum. You haven't learned anything. It's really irritating. It's really frustrating. And I told you I was going to use you as a shining example of what religion and God belief can do to a person's brain. And your brain is on display. I warned you, and now here it is. This is the consequence of you not caring. You don't care about people's belief. You don't want to change minds. You want to stay in your own little silly little belief, in your little bubble where you're right and everybody else is wrong, and all the scientists that agree with evolution, they all somehow got it wrong because Spry is smarter than every one of them. There must be some massive conspiracy that keeps biological evolution going. Nitwit. All right, back to the thing. Yeah. What is that? I'll look at that later, Brian. You just send it to me in the thing, in the Discord, whatever.
That's illogical. I made this video. It sounds like you don't think that.
Yeah, those atheist anti-science comments. You wouldn't know what science is if it smacked you. I already did that joke. Okay.
Molecular machines inside living cells are actual machines. So I made.
No, they aren't. Not really, but okay. Whatever. You don't understand it. Got it.
This video.
Doesn't matter how many videos you have. Again, you don't understand it. It's not us that doesn't understand it. You don't understand it. That's the problem.
Which covers that. It sounds like you're trying to be so specific with the intelligence that produces 3D printers and folded laundry.
Yes, because there is a specific intelligence involved in those mechanisms. Your analogy sucked Bane. That was the point of DJW's video. And I told Jeremy, I said, look, you had the syllogism up in that the video that DJW responded to. He has a not enough quotes in the universe syllogism in that video. And I said, look, it would take like 2 hours to deconstruct that. I think next time, I don't know how long it would take. It would take a while, okay? But I'm gonna do it in an edited version because otherwise I can't do it live because I can't analyze live. It just doesn't work for me. But yeah, I will do it. I will analyze that non-syllogism and rake it over the coals because it has to be. It needs to happen. He deserves it now. Okay. All right. All right. Whew. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm okay now. Seriously. All right. Got 5 people hate watching with me. Okay. Good. Good. All right. Let's get through this together.
When my purpose was to say that we can recognize where intelligent planning was involved, and we see that in living cells. So
no, we don't. That's your problem. That is your assertion. You are looking at modern cells when they do those little animations, which again are simplified animations. If you looked at actual cells, you wouldn't be able to see that sort of detail, So okay, those are to understand it, not what but you don't understand any of that. You don't have a clue what's going on. You're not a molecular chemist. You're not a molecular biologist. You're not an anything other than a creationist apologist who has yet to learn science or informal logic. You haven't. You haven't learned those things. You haven't grown, not even a little. You have not. You're using the same argument that you used 3 years ago, using the same arguments today. Nothing has changed. You have not advanced even a little bit. You are a great example of why we should continue our fight against religion and belief in God and other paranormal things and other superstitions, because this is what can happen. Is it an appeal to consequence? In a way, it is. Yeah, sure. But doesn't negate it, because you are a great example of what happens to somebody's brain when it's trapped in a belief system, unable, unwilling to challenge its beliefs. You didn't learn science. Why? Because then you would be wrong. You didn't learn informal logic. Why? Because then you would be wrong. And you need to be right. You have to be right, because your being right is conjointly linked to what you've imagined God to be. And you've convinced yourself that you can't possibly be wrong about what God is. But you are wrong. That God that you believe in cannot exist, does not exist. Why? Because it's incoherent in regards to reality. Your God requires us to reject biological evolution, to reject the age of the earth, to reject who knows what else. Your version of God cannot logically exist. And you have proven to me with your non-changiness that you don't care about the atheist. You don't. You don't care about us. You don't care what we have to say. You don't care. Our corrections to you do not matter. You don't want to convert anyone. You don't care if you don't. You don't care if I'm going to use you as an example of why people shouldn't believe in God, which I told you I would. And now I'm doing it. You don't care. It doesn't matter to you, because you need to be right about your idea about God. Because if you're not, then that God doesn't exist. And then what? Then you're then the existential dread kicks in, and that causes you cognitive dissonance, and that fear puts you back into this mindset that you're trapped in. All right. Now you guys in chat are just talking about something completely else. All right, keep going, guys in chat. I don't know. Have your own universe over there. Whatever. All right.
Again, thank you for sharing my message to so many people that I didn't have access to. I am impressed and saddened by the atheist and agnostic, and also creationist or theist who believe that Darwinian evolution happened.
Yeah, you're saddened by it. What a pathetic nitwit. Yeah, you're saddened by it. We're saddened by you. You're in a fringe minority group of people that don't agree with reality. We're saddened by you, Jeremy Spry. Actually, we're not sad. We're not sad. we pity you, and we're glad that we're not you. And we're trying our best to make sure that nobody else is like you. Single possible way that we can do that. To further education about reality is our goal. Now, whether there's a God or not, as I said 3 years ago, and I'll keep saying today, it's irrelevant to the topic of biological evolution, as well as abiogenesis. Well, if there's a God, it used abiogenesis and biological evolution. Now, what you're doing is you're placing ID, intelligent design, on top of your misunderstanding of cells as they work today and saying, look, it's so complicated, it has to be designed. And we're like, those aren't the first cells, you nitwit. He's like, well, but this could never happen on its own. No, yes, it could. It happened on its own. Now, you say, well, but I don't understand. Yeah, you don't understand it. We know you don't understand it. That's the problem. You continually don't understand it, and you haven't bothered to try to understand it. You didn't take a course in evolution or chemistry or anything. You didn't take anything. You didn't even bother to learn on your own. You just dug in your heels and convinced yourself that you're right for your own personal feelings, to be maintaining your own personal idea of what God is, because you're locked into this idol that you've created of God. It's not even possibly the Christian God anymore. It's a mutant version of God that you have created. It is Jeremy Spry's God. So if there's a God, and if it is the Christian God, then you'll hear, depart from me, I knew you not. Because God will be pissed, and he'll be more pissed than I am, which is something. I don't want to see that level of pissed. But luckily for you, don't worry about it. It's not going to be a thing. Okay? Anyways, all right. Yeah, I'm mad at him on several levels. On a former Christian levels, like, you can't be this dumb. Come on. And a logical level, a logician level, I'm mad at him at that. Mad at him that he's anti-science, so anti-science that he's like, I'm sad for those that agree with science. Fucking just
I'm impressed by the evidence dodging. But
which is what you're doing. That's all you've done. That's all you've done for 3 years, and you'll keep doing it for the next until you're dead, I guess. More than likely. And I said, look, I'll give you another chance. I said that in the comments. I'm going to read my comments soon. People are probably like, what the bleep? Why, Deconfirmed Man? Why are you so pissed off? Because this guy pissed me off. Okay. All right.
But I ask that you guys really reconsider, really look at what mRNA is. It is code.
No, it is not. You do not know what mRNA is. You have no idea what it is. You don't know how it works. You don't know the chemical compositions. You don't know how they work. You don't know anything about that. And I don't know either. I have no idea. But I know that you don't know either, and you're talking about stuff that you have no idea. But you know what? In case Spry listens to this and is still listening to this after I've ranted and said some unkind things towards him or whatever, but he's a Christian. He should totally forgive me for that, right? Talk to Aaron Ra. Let's see how far your silliness goes with Ra. I'd love to see that. I would sit there with popcorn. Yep, this is gonna be great. And just watch and just listen to you get annihilated by facts, which you won't agree with, and he'll probably just wind up, rage kicking you out or giving up on you. I don't know. Ra's pretty cool. He's pretty laid back compared to like Dillahunty or whatever. Dillahunty wouldn't even. He'd have less than a second with you. He'd be like, "What? You're no." But Dillahunty, maybe he's gone off the deep end. I don't know. I'm worried for Dillahunty. Oh well, whatever. Send logic and reason to Dillahunty, because that's my version of thoughts and prayers. It's logic and reason. Man, my brain is fried because of this guy. Well, that rhymed. I don't have time to take a dime. How about a lime? Is this out of line? No more rhymes.
The polypeptide chain sequence is hidden in the mRNA sequence, so it's code. Look at ATP
No.
synthase. If you don't think ATP synthase is a machine after watching a scientifically accurate animation, then
Now, here's a question. How do you know that's a scientifically accurate animation there? You know what would have been great other than just see the video on the screen, Spry? A link to the video! What video are you... How do you know that this is scientifically accurate? You wouldn't, because you don't know science. You have no idea. You don't know. But that's a biological machine. Yeah, you could call it that if you want, I guess. But it wasn't always that way. Okay? That's where you are having the problem with. You're looking at that and going, wow, that's got to be design. Yeah, because that's like the modern form. Okay? That's not like the earlier form that it was in. Like, you know, when it first started out, it wasn't like anywhere near that. It wasn't, you know, and you don't get that. That's the problem. You're looking at modern examples. You're not looking at like what it would have been in the past. So you go, oh, of course it looks designed, but appearance of design does not necessarily mean design. But whatever, it's the same old creationist, intelligent design, propaganda, promotion that we've heard from others, and it is simplistic in nature, and it shows your lack of understanding of science. Period. End of story, Jeremy Spry. You don't get it. You don't understand it.
then I think you're silly, and I think you're just dodging evidence. And
I think you're silly. Well, I think Jeremy Spry is silly. So what? Like I said, doesn't negate the argument, doesn't negate the facts. Now, whether or not Jeremy Spry is silly or a nitwit or whatever other insults I threw at him, which I shouldn't do. I know I shouldn't do. I know. I'm trying. I'm trying, people. I got. You know, just sometimes. Just, you know. Okay. So, whether or not you're a nitwit or whether or not you're silly doesn't negate the facts. You don't have the facts. That's the problem. You're like, I don't get it. Why does everyone disagree with me? Because you're wrong. You know, you're just wrong. You're wrong in every conceivable way that you could be wrong. Yeah, thank you, Blaster. Yeah, people like this see design and everything. There's nothing that isn't designed. Right, yeah, everything would be designed in this guy. I mean, it doesn't matter. You could look at a molecule and be like, oh, that's designed, you know. It wouldn't matter because your conclusion that God did it colors your ideas. Okay. The actual thing of it is that if there was a God, it set up the system to do its stuff on its own. Or it could be invisibly manipulating it behind the scenes, but we don't see that, okay? So your bad argument, which is all it is, continually an ID bad argument, is making us have to doubt your, well, not your God, but every God, all the gods, God in general, because your argument sucks. And because your argument sucks, that means we have to hold the conclusion in doubt. Well, not in doubt, sorry, in judgment. In judgment. We have to hold the conclusion in judgment. I say to be skeptical of the conclusion, to hold it in judgment. Might be true, might be false. Actually, it is false. We know that for sure, thanks to science. But within the realm of logic only, we'd have to hold it in judgment. But we don't have to do that because we know that you're wrong.
And you're not being honest. And
you're
so
not being honest. You're not being honest. You're not being honest. You are not honest, Spry. That's the problem. You're not honest with yourself. You're not honest with your viewers. You're not honest in that way. Don't tell somebody else they're not honest. You're not honest. There's a huge log hanging out your eyeball. There you go, Spry. That's in the Bible. Don't tell people that they're not honest. You don't know. David John Woolman's the most honest. He's freaking honest. I wouldn't say the most honest person I know. He's pretty damn honest. He's an honorable guy. I've worked with, interacted with him. I find no flaw in the man. I don't think that he would lie to me or anybody unless it was an extraordinary thing, and even then I would have my doubts. I'd have to have ample evidence that he was lying. Don't you dare say you're not honest. Only I can do ad belliums. Or no, not ad belliums. What's it called? Not ad bellium. Freaking ad hoc. No. Personal attack. Thank you. Personal attack. I forget the Latin for personal attack. Only I'm allowed to do it. Nobody else is allowed to do it. Nobody can say anything bad about anybody from now on. I've created world peace. Okay, I'm back on. I'm sorry, everybody. My brain is back. I promise.
Mr. Wellman, and those who listen to you, may you be honest with the evidence. I respect your right not to, but I hope you change your minds. This book is great for new believers, and if I were you,
I have 2 books, and they're both great for everybody, and they also help you to hammer things in. Apparently, okay. Hold on a moment. I got swallow what I have in my mouth there. Hold on. Okay. I apologize. All right. Let me read my comments, plural. Okay. And then you'll imagine. Then you'll blah, blah, blah. I started to read Imagine over here, and that got into my brain of a thing. So well, now I have to know what this says. Imagine you copy Mario and end up with an Excel spreadsheet or ping pong or some damn Omega program your computer cannot even run because of the hardware. What? I don't know what the hell you're talking about, Jip person. And I don't understand anything. Ad hominem. Thank you. Thank you, Meep Music. That's it. Only I could do ad hominem attacks. That's right. Yeah. Sorry. All right. I'm not honest. Do you believe me? Yeah. Good job. Yes, I do. All right. So, all right. And Meeps Music, I know where you're coming from. I'm really irritated at this guy. I apologize. I shouldn't do, I'm trying. Okay. My insults aren't that horrible. If, I'll use that as an excuse, okay? All right. Let me read this. Okay. Evolution did happen. Does happen. It's a fact. Still don't understand the science of this. Sigh. Oh, a book. I should get your book and review it. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to spend money on him. I have 2 books because I had to, mention I have books. And he should have said, hey, what are your books? Because, I showed him interest in his book. But he doesn't, whatever. How much do you know about epigenetics? How much do you know, Jeremy Spry? You don't know a damn thing about epigenetics. Why are you asking me? Evolution does happen, but primarily through epigenetics and natural selection. Yeah, that's, what do you even... Epigenetics sure looks designed. I don't know what the fuck he's on about. I really don't. Does anyone understand what he's talking about? Maybe Meeps Music can explain it. I don't know. Somebody knows. I don't know. Anyway, so I went off on a tangent. So here's me. We breed cats, dogs, sheep, cows, bananas, so on. I'm not even going to read all this. Am I going to read all this? No, I'm not going to read everything I wrote. Anyway, so I said all this, right? I said all this stuff about how evolution works, okay? Like how artificial selection works, right? And then I said there's a filtering mechanism, right? All right. Then the machines you're looking at and the computer generated models are not the ones from way back in the past. They're too complex. Some wouldn't even look like machines. It takes a bunch of times for these things to form and work together. A whole bunch of trial and error for any of it to work. Now, you can see how long my comment is. This is why I'm irritated at him. Well, this plus all if you look at my description, you'll see all the times I've made videos about this guy and the time that we talked and how 3 years later he's still doing the same thing. So I'm a little bit upset about all of that. I'm just really anyways. I'm no scientist. I can't explain to you the complicated interactions going on. And then I dare say most online wouldn't be willing to do so unless you paid them. Of course, maybe some of you would. I don't know. Take a course in biology or chemistry. Don't learn it. Just try to learn it on your own. You're gonna hit a wall. Anyways, thousands and thousands upon people for every walk of life, every political background, have already taken classes, research, looked at the data, read peer-reviewed papers, have come to the conclusion that biological evolution is real. Your counter? They all must somehow be wrong. Even the Christians, they're all somehow wrong. It's nonsense. Utter nonsense to think that. Just pure conspiracy type thinking on your part. Evolution is real. It's a fact. Happens all the time. It's how it is. If there's a God, he used biological evolution to get all this where it is over several thousand years. Once more, I urge you to learn science. For real. Take a class or two. There's some lectures around. I can't spell anything, whatever. It doesn't matter. On YouTube. But again, you'll run into a wall. It's just trying to do it that way. Okay. Then there's another problem. You want to, I think, make a good argument for God, right? Correct? I should have. Yet you do not seem to have learned informal logic. I say that because your so-called syllogism is so malformed it would take an hour-long video to point out the issues with it. Yeah, I'm going to do that. It's going to be a whole thing. It's going to be great. I don't know. Yeah, it's broken. DJW summed it up, most of the issues with it. But I would do a deep dive on it if I was to analyze it. Because it has formal and informal fallacies. Why? Because you don't know how to play the game of informal logic. Thus, you're losing. You'll keep on losing. All you're doing is helping people laugh at the idea of God by proxy. Haha, look at this guy and his bad argument, see? There's one more nitwit that thinks they have proof of God. You don't want that, right? Well, yeah, it's 3 years since last we talked. What the bleep did you do? Did you learn any science? Did you learn informal logic? Because honestly, I don't see that. I don't even see it a little here. I'm highly disappointed in your journey thus far. But hey, I'm all giving people a second chance to grow and change. Will you learn informal logic? Yes, no. Pick one. Will you learn actual science? Yes, no. Pick one. If no to either, I will use you as an example, others will. We will use you to promote non-God belief because your argument is that bad. You will be the perfect example of why people shouldn't believe there's a God. Is that what you want? Now, I ask you, friends, both human, non-human, boy, girl, robot, whatever the bleep you are, I don't know anymore. If somebody commented that, it would probably upset you a little. Maybe not. I don't know. You might have thick skin. I would be like, whoa, man. First of all, yes, I'm going to learn science. Yes, I'm going to learn informal logic. And no, I don't want people not to believe in God. I want people to believe. I would be like, charged up. I'd be like, I'm going to respond to what you said. That's what I would do, right? That's me. Now, maybe you're different. Let me know. What would you do if you got a comment like this? Obviously, you're going to have to modify it because, like, this comment, you would never get this comment because you guys, girls, you're all, atheist, skeptical, agnostic-ish people. So but I'm just saying, imagine you got a comment like this, but it was, because you made a video that bad, right? It's just, okay. So how would you respond, right? That's what I'm trying to get to, is to ask us how you would personally respond to that. Because how I would respond to it is to first say yes to both the questions, just to knock that out of the way. Because I said yes or no. I'm asking specifically for you to answer those questions, right? You can see by that you can infer that I don't know if you can infer I'm irritated. I don't know. But you could at least, answer those questions. That would be the first thing I would do. Then the next thing I would break down and say, look, not break down. Oh, I am breaking down, but that's, Deacon Man is having a mental meltdown. I mean, what else is new? I'm a turkey. All right. Oh, cool. Great. Awesome. Amazing. I'm glad to hear it, Fish Head Salad. Yes, The Lightbringer is my second book. It's available on Amazon for the low price of $8. It's only 90 pages, so it won't take that long to read. I think it's 90 pages. If it's not 90 pages, then whatever. God is like a lion. He doesn't need anyone to defend him. I don't know what to say to that, other than prove it, I guess. Like, what? Well, what do we have here? Well, it's a very deep conversation. All right, sorry. Look, no, slow down. No, I'm going to go faster now. All right. Anyway, so how would you respond to this, right? Think about that for a moment. All right, now we've all thought about that. I hope. I don't know. I'm going off on 20 tangents, so maybe you haven't had time to think about how you would respond. But that's where, like, if you're in the future and you can pause this video, you can think about that. If you're in chat right now, I'm going to pause for a moment just so we can all think about how we would respond to a comment like this. Okay. All right. That was long enough of a pause, I think. All right. Okay. Now, let's read his response. It's going to be stupid, but let's read it. We're arguing about the survival of the fittest, not the survival of the fittest. Epigenetics is a better explanation than random mutation. Survival of the fittest works once life has emerged along with reproduction. Chemicals don't care. They don't care. They don't mind being the wrong coral form or experiencing protein aggregation or hydrolysis. I think it's very illogical to think that survival of the fittest works regarding abiogenesis. That's his response to that giant paragraph I had. That's his response. This is why I'm making this video now. It's because of that. That is his response to me. After all that big, huge chunk of text, this is your response. Well, Spry, you're the wonderful lobster, golden lobster award-winning pick of the year millennium for an example of why we should be wary of religion and belief in God, because this is what happens to people. Here's me. Yes or no? See, that's how irritated I am. Your inability to recognize how fuck you. Whatever, we're done. Anyway, so that's that. That's what I wrote. So yeah, that's why I did this. So that's why I'm irritated. All right. All right. So thanks for listening to me go insane and rant and stuff. And I appreciate all of you, even if I disagree with you or you disagree with me. In fact, I like that. I find out sometimes I'm wrong. It's great. I learn and I grow, unlike this apologist. Now, that being said, although I've selected him as the great example of why we should be anti-religion or anti-God belief, perhaps it is the creationist belief that we should be anti, I guess. But it's like, it's hard to unconjoin that with, it's like, what do I blame on this? Because it's like, well, God and religion, like, those things go hand in hand pretty much. And you have all these beliefs that come with religion, all these things that you do. And at some point, creationism was a thing. Like way back in Darwin's day. Because C.S. Lewis was like the first apologist to start railing against natural selection, because he saw it as a challenge to God. But again, it was his idea of what God is. Now, I was a Christian, so I think I know a little bit about this idea. In Christianity, you're told that it's a relationship that you have with Jesus specifically, but also with God the Father and I guess the Holy Spirit. It's like, do you have a relationship there? It's not really clear because there's not a lot of talk about the Holy Spirit or what it does. That's why I like the Holy Spirit the most. I was like, that guy, he never gets enough attention. I want to be like, I want to love that guy. Like, I want to talk to that guy. You know. Anyways, so in any relationship that you have, is it that you know everything there is to know about that person? No way. There's no way you're gonna find like you. I never knew that. Like you'd be there with years knowing that person and find out something new, right? That's possible, no matter how well they know them, or how well they know you, whatever, or how well you know them, or whatever. However, I want to say words anymore. So if it's a real relationship, then you're bound to learn something new about Jesus / God. But here you have Spry and those like him who go, no, that's impossible. This is how God is. Done. Can't learn anything new about him. Must not really be a relationship then. Because it's not a relationship. You're not growing in that. You're not learning anything new. You're like, no, I know how to read the Bible. I know everything. I've convinced myself I understand God better than anyone else. That's a static belief. You've created an idol. You're not worshiping a real God anymore. You're worshiping an idol that you've made because you're not willing to allow that idea to evolve, to grow, to change. If it's a real relationship, it should grow, it should evolve, it should change. You should learn something new about it. But if you stay static, then you're making an idol and you're not worshiping the real God. That's just from a purely Christian-ish perspective, my perspective when I was a Christian. Now I don't care because I'm not a Christian. Now it's just the anti-science and anti-logic stuff that irritates me. So on that level, the anti-science stuff just baffles me. How can you sit there and think that all these people that agree with biological evolution got it wrong? Or all the people that study abiogenesis just don't get it? How can you think that? How dare you think that? Who the hell are you? You haven't studied this stuff. You don't know this stuff. You watched a few videos on YouTube or something, or read a few papers. No, not good enough. No, it's like the people that go, yeah, I read up on vaccines and I'm an expert now. They put mercury in it. That's bad for you. Blah, 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 blah. You know. Yeah, well, yeah, this is the part where I've run out of energy, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Like, oh my god, Deacon Rudy Man's dead. Like, what happened? Oh my god, no, he's not dead. Like, he's just overloaded. Oh, hi, everybody. I'm Heathers. Normally I'd be on the webcam, but like he doesn't have the webcam plugged in, and I don't know like how to set it up. And you haven't heard from me for like a long time. It's like overdue that I make a video. Like, oh my god, Deacon Rudy Man, he's like his brain fried out from like this video, and like I'm here now, and like I like the god of Venus is real because love is real, and Venus is no, get out of here, no. Thanks for watching, everybody. If nobody joins within a minute, I'm gonna close this and be done with this insanity. I probably shouldn't open the room to everybody, but I'm gonna do that. I put the link in the thing, so you can click on it now. Got very little left to say about this particular video, about this guy. I think I've said everything I want to say. Spry broke the lobster. I got nothing. I think it's just really super. In it is. It's amazing how people can warp their minds against reality. No, Mike, really? Go get a mic. What's wrong with you, Brian? Go. You need a mic. It's not. Uh, okay, so uh, nobody's joining. So yeah. Uh, uh, um, yeah, I get. Uh, uh, anyways, yeah. So that was fun. Yeah, yeah. Why can't I find my own book? Like, okay, I have to look for the other book because Lightbringer is way too common. All right, time to advertise myself. Then I'll end the stream. All right, so this is my book, Caught Between an Infinite Hope and a Finite Despair. It just rolls off the tongue. It's about my deconversion story, and I didn't write this snippet, by the way. That's my brother wrote that. So thanks to my brother for writing that. He also wrote the stuff on the back. So yeah, thanks for that. So if you don't like what was here or on the back, not my fault. I wrote everything else, so that is my fault. But I have a number of reviews, which is cool, from Dave Stewart, who's amazing, Stephen Bauman, whose name I can't pronounce. Apparently, he's also cool and amazing, and Brian, and he's like the best person in the world. And who else? That's it. That's it. Those three people are cool, and everyone else, not so much. You know. But to be fair, Amazon does make it hard to review stuff. So, it's probably not their fault. They probably would have reviewed it if they could have and told me that it's amazing and it's a great book. And so yeah. So anyway, so that's my book. That's like nonfiction because it's my story. And I go by Dan Green. That's not my real name. That's my fake internet name. But I don't want my real name out there, because reasons, whatever. So if we click on that, let's see. Yeah, there we go. So this isn't mine. I don't know why it's here. Like I'm still trying to get them to get this off. There's another actual Dan. There's an actual Dan Green, and he wrote whatever that is, and I'm like, that's not me. Get out of here. Anyway, so the Lightbringer. So this is see $18 and $8. So the next one's got to be like $88. So that one's going to be like a really long book. Maybe like how wrong Jeremy Spry is or something. I don't know. So this is the Lightbringer, and this synopsis is written by my brother. Thanks to my brother for that. So if you don't like it, it's his fault. And the thing on the back, again, written by my brother. So I'm pretty sure that that's the same as this. But anyway, so this is Satan's what like really happened, but it's like Satan's telling the story of like the Bible and all that stuff. Like what really happened? Like yeah, because yeah, Satan is the good guy. You didn't know that. So if you read this book, it explains all that. And then I got a review um, by Dave Stewart, who is amazing and awesome. And I would marry him if he was a girl, but he's not. So not gonna marry him, you know. But other than that, so it's a good book. It's short, and you know, you might enjoy it. And if you don't, then you suck. I guess. I don't know. All right, oh yeah, Fish Get Sell is also awesome because he got my books, but he didn't review them. But yeah, you guys are arguing with each other. I don't know what happened. I blame lobsters for it. You should have named it Deconverted Man. Which one? The first one? Yeah, I thought about the Caught Between Infinite Hope. Yeah, I thought about that. But I had already chosen the name once I had penned it, and I liked the idea, and it was already kind of embedded in the book. This idea that you're caught between this infinite hope of, there's a paradise awaiting, and then the finite despair of knowing that you're gonna not exist and all this, and it plays with that idea. And then in my interview, when I talked to Deconverted Man, the Deconverted Man, I told them that like I almost called my book Deconverted Man, which would have meant that there was two books called Deconverted Man. There would have been the Deconverted Man, and then there would have been Deconverted Man, and that's pretty confusing. So it already is confusing that there's another Deconverted Man out there. So, but he's not me. So that. Uh, so yeah, does that's it. We're done for the day. I don't know why Brian and Meep's music went to war with each other in the chat. I blame lobsters or something. Thanks for watching. Just post your comments in the comment section, and then put the salad in the Brian Stevens and the BS. Eat the Meeps music with the BS Lewis on top of the the fish head salad, and then put the yeah yeah yeah